Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of SportsLine. I'm Brendan Rigney and alongside of me is Jacob Smolinski.
We have a great show full of your LaSalle winter sports news, previews, and highlights.
So let's get started with some game recap, Jake.
The women's track and field team had a busy weekend with female runners attending the Penn State Invitational and the Columbia Lions Invitational. At the Penn State Invitational, fifth-year Megan McGlinchey, senior Michelle Capozzi, and senior Ann Arias represented LaSalle. McGlinchey placed 8th in the 3,000-meter run, posting 9 minutes and 30 seconds. In the 5,000-meter run, Capozzi placed 9th in her heat with a time of 17 minutes and 28 seconds. Ann Arias competed in a separate heat, posting a personal record in the event with a time of 17 minutes and 44 seconds. Scoring 8th place.
At the Lions Invitational, junior Kaylee Solano and grad student Rochelle Harrison both ran the 800-meter run in 2 separate heats. Solano placed 11th with a time of 2 minutes and 14 seconds. Harrison ran her career best, coming first in her heat with a time of 2 minutes and 16 seconds, putting her 15th overall. Senior Tori Pisco also ran a personal best, running the mile in 4 minutes and 57 seconds. And lastly, our women's 4x8 relay team had a very successful day and placed second with a time of 9 minutes and 17 seconds, representing the blue and gold well.
On the 1st of February, the men's track and field team competed in the Lions Invitational. Though the team did well, the results for the team were not recorded. In the 3,000-meter run, Nick Ross and Vince Perozzi both ran career bests and placed 3rd and 4th respectively with a time of 4 minutes and 9 seconds. Alfredo Santana finished 9th overall in the mile, coming off a personal record during the preliminaries of the 60-meter dash. Francis Mancho placed 8th in the finals. Other impressive races were by Chris Sanders, 7th in the 800-meter finals, and John Pujols, 4th in the 1,000-meter run. Finishing off, the 4x800-meter relay team was able to place 4th.
Well, on Saturday, the 1st of February, the men's basketball team took on Duquesne at home. I was there at the game. We won. It was a pretty good win. Jake, I understand you didn't make it to the game, but it was.
I did not.
You really missed out. It was a great game. Steve Zach had 16 rebounds and 16 points. The guy is insane. Whenever he's leading, not leading. He's I think 5th in the nation in double doubles. Huh. That's incredible.
I mean, when you're in the stands, you hear a lot of the smack talk and everything, and everybody just jumps on him as soon as something goes wrong. But I mean, people don't know these stats. The fact that he is leading the A10, 5th in the nation, that's just huge.
That's
especially
amazing. I really think he's actually Coach G in the press conference afterwards talked very highly of Steve Zach. He said he's not a player that you have to tell what to do that often. So Steve Zach's actually probably one of the smarter players on the team. Okay. If you think about it, he knows what to do. He knows how to get the ball. When he's on fire, usually the rest of the team does very well.
Exactly.
He had 16 rebounds in this game. That's outstanding. I think he had over 10 in a. No, I think
I think it was another 16 points than just scoring, right?
I think so. Yes, that's about right. But he also has an average of over 10 rebounds per game, so that's pretty nice. So congratulations, 71-63, LaSalle men's against Duquesne.
Yeah. So unfortunately, the men's team couldn't continue the momentum, losing last Wednesday to UMass by a score of 79-67. The first half was ugly for the Explorers as the Minutemen controlled the game early on. However, after ending the half, losing 43-27, the blue and gold fought back to keep it competitive. And junior Jarrell Wright's 16 points and 7 rebounds were not enough, though, as UMass piled on the points. LaSalle shot 30% from the field in the first half, while UMass hit over half of its own shots. LaSalle falls to 12-10 and prepares for Saturday's home game against the nationally ranked 13th team, St. Louis. The game will be broadcasted at 5 p.m. on ESPN2.
Women's basketball hit the road on the 1st of February to take on the St. Louis Billikens. The team started off strong, taking the score to an 18-7 lead. Alicia Cropper started the game off draining 5 of her first 7 attempts, scoring 11 of the Explorers' first 18 points. But unfortunately for the Explorers, early foul trouble sent the Billikens to the line 14 times. St. Louis was able to tie the game at 22 going into the second half. After battling for the lead in the beginning of the second half, the Billikens had a 15-4 run that brought the home team to a 10-point advantage around the 12-minute mark. The Explorers were unable to come within 7 points for the remainder of the game, whereas Cropper led all scorers with 22 points and Mickey A. Owens scored 12. The St. Louis Billikens took the W 53-43.
On Wednesday, February 5th, the Explorers took on the George Mason Patriots at home. I made it out to the game, and here's how it went down. After a heartbreaking string of losses, the Lady Explorers had a nail-biter of a win against George Mason at the Tom Gola Arena on Wednesday, February 5th. LaSalle had already beaten the Patriots earlier this season, and our team looked very relaxed as the game began. However, George Mason was looking for their first A10 win of the season and played with some serious aggression, bringing themselves to a 13-point lead in the first half. But with a few successive timeouts, the Explorers centered themselves and went on a 13-2 run led by freshman Micaiah Owens, who cut apart the defense from all over the court, scoring 10 of those points. As the Explorers went into the half, George Mason still held a 35-28 point lead. But coming straight out of the locker room, Owens made another 5 points, and with the help of Lisa Burgess, they brought the score to 37-37. As the time drained out in the second half, it went back and forth until 1:45 when the Patriots drove to the net with a layup in the paint to make it 60-59. This is when team leaders Alicia Cropper and Jasmine Alston stepped up and brought the game to its close with 7 consecutive points, ending this matchup with a score of 66-60. Standouts in this game were Micaiah Owens with 20 points, Alicia Cropper and Lisa Burgess both with 19, and Beslow and Alston with a pair of 10 rebounds apiece. Burgess was definitely the unsung hero of this game as she dominated the top and made conversions when they needed them. Altogether, the Explorers never stopped looking for a way to make the win, and it was a great victory at home for LaSalle. They take on Rhode Island at home on Saturday the 8th at 8:30. Make sure you're out in the crowd decked out in pink for the annual breast cancer awareness game. It's going to be a tight matchup.
In men's swimming, the Explorers fell short to the Penn Quakers, ending their 2-meet winning streak. Despite this, the blue and gold were still able to put up some impressive times in the last meet before the A10 championships. Senior Greg Fisher was able to win the 50-yard butterfly event with a time of 24 seconds. Freshman Jerry Gravel was able to lead the Explorers in a clean sweep of the 200-yard individual medley. Gravel's first place time was 1 minute 54 seconds. Sophomore Johan Roth was able to chip in with a first place finish in the 100-yard breaststroke event. His time was 58.41 seconds.
In their final meet before A10 championships, women's swim and dive fell to cross-city rival Penn by a score of 159 to 129. However, the girls were able to post some impressive times in the close meet. In a clean sweep of the 50-yard butterfly event, freshman Julia Mann led the charge with a time of 28 seconds. The Lady Explorers were also able to sweep the 200-yard individual medley event. Senior Greta Reichert placed first in this event with a time of 2 minutes, 19.50 seconds. Taking first place in the 100-yard backstroke was sophomore Kelsey Jenkinson. Her time was 1 minute, 6.17 seconds.
Now we're going to take a quick break, but when we get back, Amanda Keaton will be sitting down with one of LaSalle's runners. We'll be right back.
Out here today.
To be a winning team, you have to work like a winning team.
My team depends on me.
And my team is 50,000 strong.
Looks like a lot of work's going into this.
This is what it feels like to be part of a team.
A winning team.
The Action Team.
Action Team!
Get in on the action at actionteam.org. Are you in?
They said I would die.
My doctor told me I had ALS.
They said I wouldn't live to see my kids grow up.
But their doctors were wrong. Multifocal motor neuropathy, referred to as MMN, is a rare disorder that progressively weakens muscles in the extremities and is often mistaken for other serious neuropathies, as well as the ultimately fatal condition known as ALS or Lou Gehrig's disease. But unlike those disorders, MMN affects only lower motor nerves and has no sensory involvement. Symptoms tend to be asymmetric and characterized by weakness, cramping, twitching, or muscle atrophy, usually beginning in the hands. Disease progression depends on the length of time the patient remains without the correct MMN diagnosis. With early diagnosis and treatment, most MMN patients continue doing the things they enjoy.
Cooking.
Gardening.
Spending time with my family.
For more information, please visit these websites.
A diagnosis of breast cancer changes your life forever.
She told me I needed a mastectomy. I was scared, absolutely in shock.
But you need to know that you're not alone. There are teams of medical professionals, support groups, and therapists, and those who can help you plan for life after cancer. Before you undergo surgery for breast cancer, get the facts. Make sure you know your breast reconstruction options. For more information, visit broaddayusa.org.
Keaton, and I'm here with my dear friend Amber Jackson. Amber, you're a freshman just like me, and you run track here. You just had your 4th track meet here at LaSalle on Saturday. Tell me how that went.
It was pretty cool. We went to the Armory in New York, and it's my 4th time being in an indoor facility because I've never been in one before, and it's actually really big, and it's actually pretty cool. I actually really enjoyed it. It was a cool experience.
That's really cool. So how do you think your performance went?
Well, I had a new PR, which is a personal record, so I did a little better than what I was doing before, but it's still not really where I want to be. But overall, it was still pretty good.
Cool. So overall, you seem like you're doing pretty well. But growing up, did you have any other sports that you played?
Yeah, actually, in high school, for all 4 years, I played volleyball, and also in Florida, we have weightlifting, which is also a sport. So I did that too, on top of track and field.
So when did you find out that track was what you wanted to do?
Actually, I've always kind of been really interested in track, and also it runs in my family. So, but I really decided I really wanted to do it in elementary school, actually in like 4th grade. Yeah.
4th grade? So you did it in high school too then?
Yeah.
So like in high school, was it like big for you? Like were you really committed to it?
Yeah, at first I wasn't, but then as I got better coaches and I got more into it and I knew really what I wanted to do, it was more of a focus for me.
So did you ever think you were going to come to college and run track at LaSalle University?
Oh, no, not at all. I didn't even want to run track in the beginning. When I first started, I didn't even want to. My mom would always be like, are you going to go run in college? And I'm just like, no, Mom, I'm not going to. But then I got better, and I'm like, okay, yay. And I got to go, and here I am. So.
That's really cool. So how do you get along with your teammates here? And like, how do you all get along with each other? Like the chemistry between you all?
Here at LaSalle? It's great. I love it. They're like a family. And especially when you have to wake up really early, and those are the first people we have to see. Yeah, we really do get along. So I actually kind of look forward to it when I have to wake up super early. So it's a good thing.
That's really cool. So how does the season so far, how has this been like a personal success for you?
So far, I've improved a lot. A lot has changed. I definitely see a lot of further improvement and success in the future for the 4 years that I'm going to be here, and I'm actually very excited to see where I will end up.
That's cool. Is there anything you do before a track meet to get yourself together and pumped up? Like, I know you love listening to music.
Of course, yes. I have to listen to music.
Yeah.
It's how I relax. It's basically, it's what I do before having to, go out, and it's my focus.
Right.
So without music, I don't know what I would do.
And then also the warm-ups, of course.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah. Besides, even while I do warm-ups, I wear my music. I listen to music while I do that too.
I always see you around campus with your headphones on, your bright green
all
headphones.
the time.
Okay, so a tradition here at LaSalle is, what's your favorite Disney movie?
My favorite Disney movie, I think the only one that I'll always watch over and over again will probably Tangled. It's the new one, right? Yeah. It's a Disney movie, isn't it?
I think it's a Disney movie.
It is, right?
It is new too. I think mine is, of course, I love The Lion King. That's one of everyone's favorite, I think. And then I love The Jungle Book too.
Oh yeah, I remember that a long time ago.
A long time ago. I have that on like tape.
Oh yeah, like the little like.
Yeah. So you really like track here. That's really good.
Yeah, I do. I like it a lot.
Do you have any younger brothers or sisters?
I have a younger sister and an older brother.
Do they do track as well?
No, my sister did track in middle school, but no one really takes middle school track seriously. So it's still kind of a big step between middle school and high school, and she doesn't really do it. She doesn't take it seriously like I would. So.
Do you have like a role model that you look up to?
No one but my mother.
Your mom?
Yeah, my mom. She actually did all the sports than I did when she was in high school too, so it's actually kind of cool. I'm kind of feeding off of her.
Yes. So, all right, well, thank you for being here with us, Amber. And we'll be right back with SportsLine. I'm Amanda Keaton.
Training is about more than muscle. It's about inner strength. So I push myself. That's why I serve in the United States Coast Guard. I train with the best, a team that shares my drive and commitment. We collect intelligence, guard our shores against drug smugglers, and keep our waterways safe, because our nation expects more.
If you expect more, maybe you were born ready. Find out at GoCoastGuard.com. The environment is my passion. Every day, I live for the outdoors and all of its challenges. That's why I enlisted in the Coast Guard. Now, I serve to protect the environment and defend my country. It's like I was born for this.
Were you born ready for a greater challenge? Find out at GoCoastGuard.com.
Hi, I'm Lieutenant Colonel Nicole Malachowski, a U.S. Air Force Fighter Squadron Commander and the first woman pilot with the United States Air Force Aerial Demonstration Team. My fellow airmen and I know that each of us plays a huge part in our victories, whether in the air or on the ground. We couldn't accomplish our mission without using everyone's skills to reach our goals. Embracing our differences and working together is also what has made America strong. Thank you for your support, and remember, our strength lies in our diversity. This message brought to you by the United States Air Force.
Now on to exploring headlines. Well, it should not be shocking for any fans to hear that freshman swimmer Matthias Glenesk has earned himself the Atlantic 10 Rookie of the Week honors for the second consecutive week. Glenesk earned first place in the 1,000-yard freestyle and second in the 500-yard freestyle races in LaSalle's competition against Penn last Saturday. Congratulations once again to Matthias, and we look forward to the many more accolades that he is sure to earn in the future.
There were many more awards to be given to the university's athletes this week. Junior Nick Ross and freshman Chris Sanders both ran well enough to get A10 honors. Ross earned Co-Performer of the Week in track and field due to his third-place finish in a 3,000-meter run at the Columbia Lions Invitational this past Saturday. This performance beat his own personal record by more than 7 seconds and ranks him 67th in the nation. Sanders, meanwhile, excelled in the 800-meter, placing 7th.
Well, it appears that men's basketball coach John Giannini's past job at Rowan has earned him some recognition that he undoubtedly deserves. It's been announced that our very own Dr. G will be inducted into the Philadelphia Area Small College Coaches Association's Hall of Fame. Giannini posted a record of 168 and 38 over 7 seasons. His Rowan squad reached the Division III national semifinals in 93, 95, and 96. It was in 96 that his team won the championship, which helped Coach Giannini earn Division III Coach of the Year honors. In his time at Rowan, he had 6 seasons of 20 or more wins. Alongside of him, his former player and current head coach of Immaculata, Terrence Stewart, would also be receiving the Hall of Fame induction. Congratulations to you, Coach G. You deserve it.
Well, it was certainly an auspicious day for female athletes last Tuesday as nearly 200 people packed into the Union Ballroom that afternoon for the 27th Annual National Girls and Women in Sports Day. There was plenty of inspiration for the younger attendees, including LaSalle's president, Brother Michael McGinnis, who spoke about the women's soccer program and its success due to teamwork. Also in attendance were the university's athletic director, Dr. Tom Brennan, senior woman administrator, Mary Ellen Wyden, and the keynote speaker, Annette O'Connor.
The rowing team hoped to escape this cold weather that the city is having, and they succeeded. The team kept up with tradition by trekking to the state of Florida prior to the start of their spring season. LaSalle's rowers spend time on the water twice every day for a week, while also participating in yoga sessions. Whether this is to simply relax or cleanse their minds will remain to be seen until the season begins on March 8th.
All right, well, we're going to take another quick break, but when we get back, Eddie Dunn will tell you which game to watch during the upcoming week in the marquee matchup. Stay tuned.
Training is about more than muscle. It's about inner strength. So I push myself. That's why I serve in the United States Coast Guard. I train with the best, a team that shares my drive and commitment. We collect intelligence, guard our shores against drug smugglers, and keep our waterways safe, because our nation expects more.
If you expect more, maybe you were born ready. Find out at GoCoastGuard.com.
Hi, I'm Lieutenant Colonel Nicole Malachowski, a U.S. Air Force Fighter Squadron Commander and the first woman pilot with the United States Air Force Aerial Demonstration Team. My fellow airmen and I know that each of us plays a huge part in our victories, whether in the air or on the ground. We couldn't accomplish our mission without using everyone's skills to reach our goals. Embracing our differences and working together is also what has made America strong. Thank you for your support, and remember, our strength lies in our diversity. This message brought to you by the United States Air Force.
A diagnosis of breast cancer changes your life forever.
She told me I needed a mastectomy. I was scared, absolutely in shock.
But you need to know that you're not alone. There are teams of medical professionals, support groups, and therapists, and those who can help you plan for life after cancer. Before you undergo surgery for breast cancer, get the facts. Make sure you know your breast reconstruction options. For more information, visit broaddayusa.org.
Hello, and welcome to another edition of Marquee Matchup. I'm Eddie Dunn. This Saturday, February 8th, your LaSalle Explorers welcome the number 13 team in the nation, the St. Louis Billikens, to Tom Gola Arena in a nationally televised contest. This will surely be an exciting matchup, and it couldn't come at a more important time for the Explorers. With a near .500 record and only 8 games to play in the regular season before the A10 tournament, the Explorers need to make every game count. A win against a top 25 opponent is exactly what they need to boost morale and give a much-needed spark to a team that has been hot and cold all season long. Last year, the two teams squared off in the final game of the season in St. Louis in a game that the Billikens dominated, winning by 24. Although it is a new year, St. Louis is coming to Philadelphia exceptionally hot, and the blue and gold will have to be firing on all cylinders to slow down their attack. Let's check out our key players in the upcoming matchup. Tyreek Duren has been a standout all year long for LaSalle, and this Saturday is when he needs to stand out the most. 13th ranked St. Louis will pull into the Heyman Center lot with the number 8 scoring defense in all of college basketball, allowing an average of only 59 points per game. Although the Explorers have only failed to reach this mark a handful of times this season, it will be very important for Duren to take advantage of every opportunity he has and to make the most of them. Against a team like the Billikens, who average 72 points per game, the blue and gold will be dependent on a leader they can trust to deliver points for them. Another man who needs to be on top of his game is Steve Zak. The 6'11" junior is 23rd in the nation in rebounds with 205. In order for LaSalle to have any chance of taking down such a dominant team, Zach will have to be a force down low. Rebounds are going to be key for the Explorers to maintain possession and put points on the board. In addition to LaSalle's top rebounder, Steve Zak is 4th leading scorer on the Explorers, averaging about 10 points per game. Therefore, anything less than a double-double for Zach will most likely spell bad news for the Explorers unless the rest of his teammates are getting buckets all night. Now for our keys to the game. Leading the St. Louis charge will be senior guard Jordair Jett. Jett was just named A10 Player of the Week for his performances against Richmond and George Mason. It will be detrimental that the blue and gold keep Jett in check and limit his opportunities to make plays and score points. Averaging almost 18 points per game against A10 teams this year, along with 4 assists per game, Jordair Jett is one of the most dangerous players LaSalle has come across this season, and he will have to be guarded well. Another thing the Explorers need to do, as a reiteration from before, is make their shots. LaSalle needs to get their field goal percentage up and take advantage of every opportunity that they are given. They have been fairly consistent from the charity line this season and should be able to make the late game free throws if necessary. However, in order to avoid late game controversy, the Explorers are going to want to hit their shots early and often. And lastly, the Explorers need to get their rebounds. We don't want to allow the Billikens to get multiple chances at making a basket on each possession. Wright and Zach need to play hard in the paint on both ends of the court in order to maximize profit for LaSalle. Hopefully, at the end of the day, when all is said and done, LaSalle will have taken down a top 25 opponent. That concludes this week's edition of Marquee Matchup. I'm Eddie Dunn.
They said I would die.
My doctor told me I had ALS.
They said I wouldn't live to see my kids grow up.
But their doctors were wrong. Multifocal motor neuropathy, referred to as MMN, is a rare disorder that progressively weakens muscles in the extremities and is often mistaken for other serious neuropathies, as well as the ultimately fatal condition known as ALS or Lou Gehrig's disease. But unlike those disorders, MMN affects only lower motor nerves and has no sensory involvement. Symptoms tend to be asymmetric and characterized by weakness, cramping, twitching, or muscle atrophy, usually beginning in the hands. Disease progression depends on the length of time the patient remains without the correct MMN diagnosis. With early diagnosis and treatment, most MMN patients continue doing the things they enjoy.
Cooking.
Gardening.
Spending time with my family.
For more information, please visit these websites.
The environment is my passion. Every day, I live for the outdoors and all of its challenges. That's why I enlisted in the Coast Guard. Now, I serve to protect the environment and defend my country. It's like I was born for this.
Were you born ready for a greater challenge? Find out at GoCoastGuard.com.
All right, thanks, Eddie. Be sure to keep up with this weekend's sporting events by following us on Twitter at SportsLine LTV. We post game updates and sneak peeks into the upcoming show.
Also, check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/LaSalleTV. We welcome you to send us your thoughts and suggestions about the show on either website.
For Jake and our entire SportsLine team, I'm Brendan Rigney, and we'll see you at the game.